The Nanoleaf Remote is a really interesting way to control not just your lights, but your entire smart home. And on AppleInsider, we're going to put it to the test. Welcome everyone, this is Andrew, and we have the new Nanoleaf Remote, which is now available online as well as in Apple stores. It is a dodecahedron, which means it has 12 sides, and it can light up as well as vibrate whenever you give it a command. Obviously, it pairs well with Nanoleaf's other products, notably their lighting solutions. Their triangular shaped lighting panels that we're going to look at again in this video are a great option to use this remote with. But because it works with HomeKit, it'll work with any HomeKit compatible product, whether it's other lights, your shades, your fans, your door locks, anything that works with HomeKit can work with the Nanoleaf Remote. Inside the box, you have everything that you need to get going, including the two halves of the die, a pair of batteries, an all-important Nanoleaf sticker, as well as the Getting Started guide, which has a backup of the HomeKit pairing code. The remote is made up of two plastic halves, one that actually houses some of the components, and the other one that is largely hollow. It is kind of like a soft white color, some soft rounded edges going around it with numbers printed on all the sides. This corresponds to the scene that is currently active, so whichever number is up, that is the scene that'll currently be set. Inside the larger of the two halves, you'll find the battery compartment as well as the actual HomeKit pairing code. Also in here is a tiny haptic motor that's able to provide actual vibration feedback whenever you rotate it or change it to a different scene. While putting the remote together works pretty easily, when we did have to take it apart, it was kind of a pain. You need to use a screwdriver, and it almost seemed like the screwdriver was able to slightly damage the actual exterior of the die when we tried to open it up. So it is a little bit of a downside, but luckily those batteries should last you hopefully a little while, depending on how much you play with this thing right when you first get it. Putting the batteries in works really easily and is incorrectly shown here in the video. Obviously the one on the left should be down and the one on the right should be face up. So put the batteries in correctly and it'll spring to life with a variety of different colors, usually green, getting going. Line the two halves up and a quick little click will lock everything into place. It locks in solidly, removing the chance of this accidentally coming open when you just knock it around. Here you can see some of the colors. As we rotate the die, a different side is up means a different color is shown on the remote. It's another nice visual indicator to correspond with the scene that's actually being displayed. Here you can see we have our Aurora going up the wall, these triangle shaped light panels, and we have a bit of a banding issue with our frame rate, but as we change the remote, you can see the actual tiles are changing their scene that they're displaying. So how does this all get set up? Luckily, it's pretty easy, and you can do it either in the actual Nanoleaf application, or you can do it in the HomeKit application. We kind of used a combination of both of them depending on what we were looking to do. Starting off in Nanoleaf, you can see how it will adjust to the scene that is currently running. So we have one up now. As we rotate it to two, you'll see the live reaction on the app showing now fireworks and firecrackers. Change it again, now a vibrant sunrise is being displayed. So it just changes the lighting pattern on our tiles as we change the top facing number. Setting up additional scenes is really simple to do. We simply go to our remote tab and we scroll down, we choose a number. In this case, we're looking at number 7. So on side number 7, we want this particular scene to show up. Now we have to kind of give it a second for it to recognize, but if I move it again and reassign scene number 7 after it actually syncs over to HomeKit, move it again and you'll see we'll go from vibrant sunrise to nighttime snowfall, which includes not only the color of the panels, but the brightness as well. Obviously, you can get really granular in how you adjust these lighting scenarios. If you're adjusting it with the HomeKit stuff from Nanoleaf, like the Aurora and their upcoming square-shaped panels, you can do all that here in the app. You can actually paint on there, choosing which colors you want each individual tile to be. Do you want them to rotate? How do you want them to rotate? There's a ton of different stuff that you can get in there and change. So you can create any of these robust scenes here in the Nanoleaf app and save it as a HomeKit scene, and it'll be available not only through the remote, but through Siri and other applications as well. As a side note, one of my favorite places to get scenes is from the Discover tab. There's a ton of really cool options here from Nanoleaf as well as other users, so you can always find kind of something new and cool here that you want to try out on your own lighting product. So anyone that you find, you can view it instantly on your Nanoleaf lighting panels, save it to your device, and use it in any scenes with the remote or any of your other HomeKit gear. So that is in the Nanoleaf app, primarily working with the Aurora, the other lighting products from Nanoleaf. But what if you want to do more with HomeKit? That's totally doable here in the Home app. You can do this in the Nanoleaf app, but we find it a little bit easier in Apple's own first-party solution. But you can see we have the Nanoleaf Remote here in the dining room, and we have 12 what show up as buttons, even though it's just the different sides of the die, but there are 12 different buttons that you can configure. For each of the sides, you can control different accessories individually, or you can use any pre-created scenes. Of course, you might also notice some of the scenes that we saw from over in the Nanoleaf app, such as the red spectrum and romantic and other ones that we created specifically for the Aurora. But you're not limited just to Nanoleaf's lighting panels. I can do things like my locks, my shades, my fans, all of that stuff can be controlled with the Nanoleaf Remote. Now, while the Home app says you have 12 options, you actually have more than that. You can actually use Conditionals and a third-party application, and whenever you put on that scene, it can either do it or reverse it, depending on whether or not it's set. For instance, if I want 1 to lock and unlock the door, if I put on 1, it'll lock the door. If I turn it to 1 again, it'll unlock the door. And you can do that with other applications like the Eve app, which is a really nice HomeKit application. When you actually set scenes with the remote, it works pretty well. It's actually pretty fast and works fairly fluently. We did notice some hiccups with some bridge-based accessories like my hue lights. Sometimes one or so wouldn't actually get the message, but when I reset that same scene, it would automatically go through. When we compare this to a lot of the other buttons and remotes out there in the HomeKit market, we have some pretty good results. We've got a bunch of them here, including Fibaro the button, the Eve button from Elgato, we've got the Logitech pop switch down here at the bottom, and we have the 2 options from Philips Hue, the dimmer switch and the tap. All work really well, all do pretty much the same thing. But then we have the remote, and it's honestly the most different out of all of them, and it offers a lot more options. All the others only can do 3 other than the tap and the dimmer. Both of those can do 4, but then you've got the remote from Nanoleaf, which can do 12 and 24 or more if you're using Conditionals. That is really kind of where the problem lies. The remote is really nice. I really like using it. It looks really nice. I love the different colors, and I love the little bit of haptic feedback that you get whenever you rotate it and a scene is enabled. But the problem is, it's a lot of scenes to remember. It's hard to remember those 12 different scenes that you have set for each of those. But when we're comparing to the other buttons, I think it still comes out on top. The other ones are still similarly priced, but they don't light up, they don't offer haptic feedback, and they have much less configuration options compared to the remote. So between them, I think I'd rather use the remote. I may not use all of the scenes, even if I only use 3, 4, or 5 of them. I still have options available, and it definitely looks a lot cooler. It also works really well for the Aurora. Simply put a whole bunch of different lighting scenes for your tiles and just rotate through. You can sit there and choose your 12 favorite scenes, and you still have a lot of options. If you've got a HomeKit home, or you've got an Aurora or other tile solution, definitely check this out. You can find the link below in the description, and let me know what you think down in the comments.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products, updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.